What's going on, y'all? It's Bruce, and in 2021, I got a bunch of new changes in my life, new job, new apartment, but the one thing that's been consistent is the income of clothes. And I'm a little bit more proud of myself this year just because I didn't go all out on designers, and I think I've bought a lot more clothes that fit me well instead of fitting the style that I try to go for. It still fits my style, but it's more attention to the proportions, the shape, and the textures of these clothes. And so this year, I'm really proud of what I've built my closet to be so far. But yeah, man, let's start off with the tops. All right, we are starting off strong with my very first Bode piece. This is a white cotton shirt with a unique embroidery and cuts all across the shirt. This piece definitely reminds me of a barong, and if you guys don't know, a barong is a traditional top from the Philippines that you usually wear during like weddings or any type of formal occasion that's made out of fibers from pineapple leaves. But yeah, very versatile shirt to wear casually or formally at just like parties or just anywhere. All right, next up, we got my other Bode shirt, and this was part of the seasonal collection. This shirt was also crafted in India and features some bright red, blue, yellow, and purple embroidery of different Indian patterns and monuments across the shirt. Just another great example of how much Bode puts into their work. Great craftsmanship, great quality overall, and a very eye-catching piece to add to my wardrobe. All right, next up, we have a vintage U.S. Army shirt. The top left, you see a patch with the U.S. Army. On the sleeves, you can see the two flags and it says happiness. This is on the left sleeve, and on the right sleeve is just a cute little tiger. And on the back, it says, when I die, I'll go to the heaven because I've spent my time in hell. And it also says Coochie, and I thought it was just a joke like Coochie, but it's actually it's a rural district in Ho Minh City. I apologize for butchering the name of your cities, my fellow Vietnamese friends. But yeah, it just reminds me of like the Japanese sequins jackets. Instead of the map of Japan, this is obviously the map of Vietnam. And instead of sequins, it's embroidered. The gold and yellow details on a green platform and also the blue hits on it, it's very eye-catching. And yeah, this goes great with my style and trying to incorporate like war-themed outfits, but in a modern take, especially with these mini details and embroidery across the shirt. Definitely a great piece. And last up for the shirts, we are going to end it with the rayon Virgin Mary open collar shirt by Kapital. You can see the Virgin Mary on the back and the side, or not the sides, the sleeves of the shirt. The golden face and hands and just the intricate details of the scarf that she's wearing is so eye-catching, and the overall patterns of purple and blue around this shirt are just beautiful. Reminds me of like a Hawaiian shirt, but with the details of like religion, you know? Interesting enough, the only reason why I got this shirt is to match it with my friend Dustin, and also it was on sale. But instead of the open collar shirt, he bought the kimono style shirt. So I would definitely see myself just wearing this at like just parties or just like special events, because this is a really loud piece and just wearing it often would seem boring to me. All right, next are the crew necks and the sweaters. Starting off with this vintage women's Hanes black crew neck with a cinched waist and cinched cuffs. I've been trying to find more fitted crop tops, as I find that it works well with my torso since I am a pretty short dude but not the skinniest. So women's large or medium tops seem to fit really well on me. It so happens that it has a cinch that sits right on top of my waist, so it makes it whatever pants I have on look a lot longer and make me appear tall. You also get this nice washed out black on it, and it's great for just regular outfits or just very like casual normal core wear type of outfits, or it's very warm too, so I use it as an underpiece a lot as well. And yeah, it just makes for a great essential type of garment. And for the last of the sweaters slash crew necks, we have this vintage LL Bean Russell Athletic turtleneck. What brought my attention to this turtleneck was like the deep purple slash navy blue color that it has. And it definitely looks a lot more faded than its original color when I looked on it online. I guess because of the washes that it's gone through. This is more of like a boxy cropped look, and it definitely is my favorite look for now because it makes my legs look longer, like I said before. but it also doesn't hug my torso, so you don't see any curves from my body except for my shoulders, which makes me look like a lot more muscular than I actually am. So definitely going to be hunting down more vintage LL Bean stuff. And yeah, definitely a great top, and just also the turtleneck on this isn't too high, isn't too short. It's just a perfect height for me. And yeah, I'm looking forward to wearing this a lot throughout the winter. All right, next up is this vintage Chico's leather jacket. It's a very soft leather, almost feels like a nubuck, and this like beautiful desert brown / gray color. And on the back and on the sides, and mostly around the jacket, it has this faded print on it. I honestly couldn't tell you what it was. Like, it's so faded to the point where it's indescribable what the hell's going on. But it also has like leather rope details around it, and on the inside it's just a polyester liner. I picked this up for like $20, and I found that the buttons and just like this faded design that I was talking about earlier is so interesting and reminds me of like a Visvim piece. Not to name anything specific, but like their style of clothing and like just this faded print just remind me so much about Visvim. And yeah, this is a very big coat, and definitely would use it as an over light, like a jacket, maybe wear a hoodie under it, or definitely something long sleeve if I want to make this like a warm jacket. I feel like wearing it during like spring or summer would definitely be too hot, and it's definitely a little bit oversized because it goes over my wrists. But other than that, this is a great like overcoat type of jacket. All right, next up, this is probably my favorite top that I've bought this year, and it's just this vintage, I don't know whether to call it a chore jacket, but it just reminds me of those French chore jackets that have been so sun-dried and just faded all across the jacket into this beautiful like light purple. But yeah, it's cropped, it's very boxy, just exactly how I was telling you guys. Perfect for my shape. Definitely sits on top of trousers like flawlessly. And it has these like brass zippers across the chest pockets and across the middle zipper, and very light overall. Like, I would wear this in the spring and a summer night. This is like a perfect going out jacket. So definitely a great piece in the wardrobes, especially for an essential. All right, next we're gonna go into the heavier jackets. This is a vintage World War II jacket made out of wool. And let me tell you, this shit is so fucking itchy, and it is very fitting and like almost too small. It fits my around the wrist and waist pretty snug, and I can barely close it. So that's telling me I have to lose weight this fucking year. But other than that, it's a great wool jacket. I will say, since it's like all wool, it's very fucking itchy. But yeah, man, like I said, it's definitely a lot more fitting towards my body, just maybe a little bit looser on the top. And it also has this like balloon effect where it's like very cinched on the waist, but without like having it scrunched up with usual elastic. And it just has like a balloon type of torso to it, especially with the 3D pockets and the pleats on the back. So yeah, definitely a great piece to add to my style that involves like a lot of war inspired type of outfits. Next we have this black mesh / leather detailing Vanson jacket. It's supposed to be, I guess, a motorcycle jacket that you would put under a leather jacket, because either that or also for just the summer, because it's mesh all over, so it's very breathable, but it has leather details are all around the zippers and the cuffs, just so I guess it doesn't get wrecked easily. And it also has shoulder pads, so yeah, it makes me a lot more muscular than I actually am. But other than that, it also has adjustable waistline, so I can make it a little bit tighter, make it have that boxy look that I always love. And on the back, it's the same thing. It's just mesh all over, and you can definitely see the shoulder pads there. You can also see the padding on the elbow to the forearm. So this is definitely a motorcycle type of jacket made to protect the rider. So yeah, this is definitely a weird jacket just because it's mesh all over. So I would say I would only wear this in the summer during the night, because the breeze on this with all the mesh around it is really nice. But wearing it anywhere else is either too cold or too hot. So definitely a very tricky piece to wear, but nonetheless a great all black jacket. All right, next we have this vintage brown leather jacket. The leather on this is very rough. It's almost like, it feels like just like regular leather that's been scratched off a bunch, but nonetheless, great brown jacket. It's a little oversized on the sleeves and a little under the waist than I like it to be, but nonetheless, the construction of this leather feels so nice and so dense that it's actually a really heavy jacket. And the only gripe I have about this jacket is the liner on the inside is destroyed. Like there's just holes everywhere and it's difficult to put my arm through it without having it get ripped. But other than that, there's also like a couple buttons that are missing. And as you can see, there's no button on the end of that waistband that closes the jacket. So that I just have to leave it either flailing or just leave the jacket open as is. But definitely have to just put the button back on somehow, find a tailor. But other than that, man, yeah, just a very classic brown leather jacket look. Definitely very fitting to me, just except around the wrists and on the waist. But other than that, it's a perfect fit around my torso. All right, and last but not least, my second favorite jacket that I bought this year, a vintage gray/tan blazer with these like cowboy details across the chest, the pockets, and on the back. Just the detailing on this is so nice, and especially the color blocking on it. You have this like gray/tannish jacket, and it has hints of like this salmon pink, especially on the liner. Not that you'll see it, but it's just such a nice color scheme to me. And it also does like a half zip up here, but other than that, it's really boxy, it's really cropped, fits perfectly on top of my waist, and it also has shoulder pads. So once again, we're just striving to look something that we're not here. And yeah, just a great overall piece, man. Like, all right, now we are going to start off with the bottoms, and starting off strong, we have the Bode senior corduroy rugby shorts. Yeah, so Bode took inspiration from the Purdue University seniors that like during their senior year, they would wear these yellow corduroy pants and just drew on them, kind of like, I don't know, like a yearbook almost. And so Bode took that into consideration and made it across, instead of just pants, they just made it shorts, jackets, even tote bags. And to me, this is a little bit more special because it reminds me of just the Lower East Side, where I used to always just party in New York during my college and even today. And especially now, since Lower East Side seems to be the hottest spot for just vintage clothing or just secondhand shopping. So definitely gonna be like a timepiece that is a little sentimental to me. And yeah, these corduroy shorts are like a little bit too wide and a little boxy for my legs, which make my legs look like fucking chopsticks. But other than that, these are just beautiful shorts. Definitely, I think my favorite Bode piece overall. And I've been wearing these around the house almost like every other day because they are also very comfortable. So can't wait to wear this in the spring/summer, and definitely looking to cop more of the senior cord series that they have later on. All right, next up we have these sweatpants from Bellwera. It's a small boutique that I found in Brooklyn, and the shape reminds me of Sorel pants. And the main reason why I bought these pants are because there's like insulation inside of them. So there's like 2 layers and like a thick like layer of cotton in between the liner and the outside. And the outside of these pants, I don't know if you can tell, but it is some really like thick cotton, so it's definitely really warm and traps a lot of heat actually. So, and the shape of these pants just remind me of like those Japanese Sorel pants, and I like how baggy it is, and then I can wear it with like tight boots around my ankles, so it gives this like balloon effect. So definitely an interesting shape, but I can't really see myself wearing this outside of just lounging. But nonetheless, definitely a cozy piece just to wear around the house throughout the workday, or maybe if it's a little cold outside but I don't want to dress up, then yeah, these would be great, fit a lot of my outfits currently. And yeah, next we have these black Comme des Garçons polyester trousers, and it's like a very straight fit, very relaxed on the thigh and especially around the calves. These are just great everyday black pairs of trousers. and definitely like a little baggier than I want, but I feel like these pants would withstand the test of time just to have like an essential black trousers. Other than that, these are polyester, so it is very light. Easily one of my favorite things to wear in the summer just because of how airy they get and like just very breathable. And yeah, definitely a great essential. They're nice when they fit on top of like boots and loafers or just any low top dress shoe, and definitely very versatile. I could wear this casually with some streetwear, an avant-garde type of style, or even in a formal setting. So very great pants, very versatile. Next up, we have these vintage 517 orange tab Levi's. I found this at like a thrift store in California, and I couldn't find the leather patch that says Levi's made in the USA on the back, but I did find the 517 in the wash tag on the inside of the pants, and you can see in the back here it kind of looks weird, but that's because I shrunk in the waistband and took out the extra fabric in the back of the pants to fit my waist. These were initially a size 36 and I am currently a 33, so definitely just a fun project to start sewing again, and definitely looks so much better than what they were before. And yeah, the nice flare on the bottom, any chunky shoe really, loafers, boots, and yeah, just also a perfect light wash, like perfectly even all around the pants. So definitely great fading on that. And definitely pretty comfortable around the legs, just hugs my waist a little bit tight just because of how I sewed them, but definitely a great everyday essential for me. Next up, we have these vintage military trousers for, I guess, the US Army. They're from Coastal Industries. I wouldn't know what branch they were made for specifically. And it's made out of cotton and satin. Very soft cotton, to be honest, but it's also very thick, so definitely nice throughout the winter. They have a bunch of like scratches and holes on them, but they've been repaired, so it features this nice like sashiko style like stitching, or just repair stitching in general throughout the pockets and parts of the pants. I definitely bought these just to incorporate to my military type of style that I wear. So just I always wear these with combat boots and some like army green or like military type jacket I have, and just a nice faded green across, not too deep green, not too like olive green, just a perfect light wash green. So yeah. And saving the best for last, we have the Rick Owens Spring Summer 21 Dietrich. I hope I'm not pronouncing that wrong, but these trousers are a weird but like great part of my wardrobe. They have a cinched waist, so it feels like sweatpants, but they have the shape of like regular fitted trousers, and has this very unique like brown slash light purple or like plumish grayish like color, but it's also very like sheer or like see-through. So it adds just another layer of a unique texture to any outfit I wear. So, and surprisingly, it's very versatile. Like I've worn these with suits, I've worn this with just a t-shirt, just a tank top, or I've also worn these with like combat boots, so it fits my military aesthetic very well. So yeah, overall, just probably my favorite pants that I've picked up this year. And last but not least, we have to talk about the footwear. I'm pretty proud of myself this year because I only bought 2 pairs of shoes, but regardless, here are the Birkenstock Bostons with the fur lining. I really only bought this just because I needed house slippers, and these were perfect, but in the beginning, like everyone says, they were a bitch to fit in, and I just thought it would be nice because they had the fur lining, but I was wrong. They were just as uncomfortable. But after like a week or so, they became better, and then after 2 weeks, they just molded to my foot perfectly. Has a nice cork sole, so it definitely takes a while to get used to, but nonetheless very comfortable. And I never wear these outside. I only wear these like in my room or throughout the building. So they do, however, look great with some like flare jeans that I usually also wear around the house. And yeah, other than that, just great house slipper. And I've definitely saved the best for last for this whole video, and that is my favorite thing that I bought this year, which are these Rick Owens Bozo tractor boots with the mega lace on them. And these combat boots just remind me of Noctis from Final Fantasy 15. And they look pretty dirty because I wear these a shit ton. But yeah, the mega lace is such a nice detail, especially with the white laces. The all black leather is very soft, but and definitely feels a little fragile, but definitely such a great look to have and break in. And the big tractor sole is such like a big statement piece, especially with that like clown looking toe box, but nonetheless a very great combat boot. It fits perfectly with the military aesthetic that I am trying to push this year, and especially with cargo pants, wide trousers, or honestly any trousers that I have with these boots, even shorts, these look phenomenal. The only gripe I have about this shoe is it's kind of really tight around the ankle, because I thought having a bigger size or a smaller size would have less room on the toe box, and it did, but it's really tight around my ankle, so I can get fucking crossed up at any time. Believe me, it's happened before. And the different ways you can style this, you can tie the laces up high, you can tie them low, you can tie them around the back, around the front. You can tuck your pants in the boots, which this is what I usually prefer, or you can wear them as if they're like a chunky low top because of how skinny the upper is and how wide the platform is on the bottom. So yeah, in this example, this is how I would wear them with like boots or pants tucked into the boots. And these are how I would wear them with my trousers tucked over the boots. You can see how it looks like a really low shoe, even though it is a high top, and the big chunky sole just fits nicely with these flared trousers. So I can wear them casually, I can wear them formally. Just overall, great versatile shoe, very eye-catching. This is probably the most compliments I've ever gotten on a shoe, and definitely my favorite purchase of the year. But yeah, man, that's it. I'm really proud of the closet that I built out. And this year, I don't like making New Year's goals, but I do want to make it a goal to learn more about sewing, upcycling, and altering my clothes and altering the newest clothes I have. So this year, I want to build at least or retouch one garment like a month or something like that. And hopefully I'll film the process and show you guys how I'm doing it, what I'm trying to style my clothes or modifying my clothes to be into, or what I'm trying to create. And hopefully there's more videos this year. I did that last year, didn't happen. But, fingers crossed, and I'll see you all in the next one.